योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन यो अपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मै. Namaste. I am Acharya Pratishtha and I congratulate Indian Yoga Association who has come up with this wonderful concept of month-long activities to celebrate International Day of Yoga 2022 and to dedicate these month-long activities to mental health. Such is expected from an organization of such a repute, Indian Yoga Association, because an organization of such a repute is not to follow the flow. What is expected from them is to check the flow and to give right direction to the flow. Today, when people understand yoga as a mere set of physical exercises, they think that it is a science that is connected only to your body. It is very, very important to make them aware of real yoga, of traditional yoga, of classical yoga, and of the basic ethics of yoga. If the subject of yoga is only body, Maharshi Patanjali would have not mentioned in the initial sutras itself that yoga chitta vritti nirodha. He would have mentioned yoga sharira vritti nirodha. No, it's about chitta. To control the modifications of mind is yoga. And we need to accept yoga in totality. When we talk about health, even if we look at the World Health Organization's definition of health, it is not wellness at the level of body. It is wellness at the level of body, mind and soul. All those who know a little bit of Hindi, they must have seen the Hindi mark sheet. It's mentioned yoga at the end. And in the English mark sheet, it's mentioned total, which means yoga means to unite. Yoga means to live life in togetherness, a perfect balance in everything you do. Samatvam yoguchyate. And mind. You should be the master of your mind. But unfortunately, it has become opposite. Now, mind has become our master and we are working only at the level of body, and then we think that we are doing so much of workout, we are taking so much of protein, still why we are not healthy. And more than that, why we are not happy. Because we are not working at the right place, which is mind. It is beautifully mentioned in our Shastras, Maneva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo. Mind is the tool towards all the bondages and towards liberation. Life is all about choices. It depends on us what we choose. We want to liberate, we choose to liberate, or we want to stay in these bondages. Mind has given utmost priority in yoga philosophy. And that is the reason it's very, very important that we talk about mental health, especially in today's time when the entire world has come out of this crucial time of pandemic, when everybody has lost something or someone, and maximum people has gone through that mental trauma. They might feel healthy physically, but several mental health issues they are facing. It's very important that we understand how to keep our mental health perfect. I will be sharing some very simple tips with you. But before that, also I will be sharing some easy yogic practices with you. But before that, it's very, very important that we understand to accept and adapt yoga in totality rather than in pieces. I, belonging to a family of yogis, I have seen the journey of yoga becoming yoga, and then becoming yoga and pranayam, and then becoming yoga and meditation, and then we say yoga is just a mere set of physical exercises. Few think it is just a mere set of physical exercises, few think it is just about respiratory practices, and few think it is only about sitting and doing meditation. But yoga is much more than just this. Especially when we talk about mind, when we talk about chitta ki avasthaएं, yoga philosophy has so much to give to you. So if you are facing any of the mental health issue, I say any of the mental health issue, you need to practice one, swadhyay. Very, very important. We have taken ourselves far away from holy text. We rarely get time to read. And even those who are reading, they are reading on screen. They have lost that touch of book and of holy books. So we need to practice first thing, swadhyay. Swa adhyay and swadhyay, which means self-study and also study of self. Both are important. So when I say self-study, we must read Gita, Bhagavad Gita, one of the biggest texts on yoga, which was given to Arjun, one of the biggest fighter of his time. And that fighter just left his weapons at the field and he said, no, I don't want to fight. And that was the time. He was depressed. He gave up. And that was the time. At the battlefield he gave up, and that was the time when Shri Krishna said, Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. Get up and do your karma, do your dharma. And this is the biggest message of yoga. So if you are facing any of the mental health issue, whether it is depression, it is stress, it is anxiety, it is violence, and so many others, make sure that you practice swadhyaya, you take out time for self-study, and you must read holy text, especially Bhagavad Gita. You study Yoga Sutras, you study Patanjali, you study Gorakshanath. So make sure first thing, take out 10 minutes or 15 minutes every day. Hold a book, read it, understand it, and then adapt it in your everyday life. Now the second part of Swadhyaya, as I said, study of self. To simplify it, we have a provision in Bharat Yoga that's called self-talk therapy. Whenever there is anyone who is suffering from any kind of mental issue, the first thing that is being told to them from experts or doctors is talk to someone, right? Talk to someone, share your heart, speak to people. But have you ever thought about talking to yourself? This is study of self. Let's go inside, look at ourselves, talk to ourselves, know yourself, study yourself. So what we do, this exercise is very, very important and very, very effective, especially for those who are facing any kind of mental health issue. When you wake up in the morning, first thing you should be doing is self-talk therapy, and we can do it in two ways. One, either you sit quietly, keep your eyes closed, then do it, or you just stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and then talk to yourself. Now, point is, what do we have to talk, Acharya ji? So I will be sharing that with you. Just sit quietly with your closed eyes, or just stand in front of the mirror and look into your own eyes and tell yourself, today is going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be a beautiful day. You have to say it at least 5 times. Second, I am Paramatma's child and everything is going to be great with me. I am Paramatma's child, all good is going to happen with me. I am Paramatma's child, all good is going to happen with me. Say it 5 times to yourself. Then, world is so beautiful, nature is so beautiful, life is so beautiful, everything is happening my way. My life is blessed. My life is blessed. My life is blessed. Say it 5 times. And then, whatever your problem is, just say to yourself, I'm going to stay happy today. Say it 5 times. I'm not going to lose temper today. Say it 5 times. I am loved and I'm going to spread love around me. Say it 5 times. Whatever, make your own self-talk. Talk to yourself and you will see amazing results within 3 days. But don't think that 3 days are more than enough, so we are not going to do it after 3 days. No, you must practice it every single day. It won't take more than 10 minutes. So just remember, Swadhyay, self-study and study of self. Read Gita or other holy text and talk to yourself, practice self-talk therapy. Okay, now let's come to the second part, which is Ishwar Pranidhan. Now all the stress, anxiety, how does it come? It comes because we have no trust, because we are not contented, because either we are living in past, living stress, either we are living in future, living anxiety around us. So learn to live in present, do your best, and then Ishware yat karoti shobhanam karoti. Whatever Paramatma does is always favorable to me. Just remember this. I am Paramatma's child. Follow the path of Ishwar Pranidhan. Do your 100% throughout the day and then leave rest to Him. This one thought is going to keep you away from stress, anxiety and all mental health related issues. You know, there was a very renowned author, I'm not going to take name of that author. So he visited India, stayed at ashram and learnt yoga from Gurudev Swami Bharat Bhushan Ji, and then he went back to his country and he wrote a book on yoga. And he gave one copy to me and I just opened the book and he said, Acharya ji, this is for you. I just read the first page and that was so beautiful. He mentioned that, you know, I spent time in India, I spent time at ashram, and when I came back, I was so enthusiastic and I just love this concept of Ishwar Pranidhan. And I just shared it with my children. I was telling them, you know, you should follow Ishwar Pranidhan, you should follow this, you should follow that. And then my kids said, Dad, what is Ishwar Pranidhan? And then I told them that Ishwar Pranidhan is leaving everything to the will of God. And they said, oh, I think you have become coward. So then he wrote, right now I cannot explain it to them because they are not in a situation to understand. When they said, Dad, you are coward, I said, I cannot explain it to you, but just remember this one single thought helps me in staying away from stress, anxiety, depression, hypertension, high blood pressure. Such is the power of Ishwar Pranidhan. But Ishwar Pranidhan doesn't mean that don't do anything, just thinking that Paramatma is going to do everything. You do your best and then leave the rest to Him. So when you are in action, 100% effort. When you are in the relaxed position, when you are relaxing, 100% withdrawal. That's what yoga teaches us. 100% withdrawal, which is Aram. Aram. Where I am nowhere, it is just Ram everywhere. I leave my ego aside or beside. So this is second thing after Swadhyay, second is Ishwar Pranidhan. Now third thing, we must practice some very simple yogic practices, okay? Like you shall practice mild stretchings, you should practice Surya Namaskar because that gives us energy and that works on our different chakra and that generates energy in our entire body. But this trend of 108 Surya Namaskar, 1008 Surya Namaskar, no, we don't need that because there are so many other things in yoga that why to confine yourself only to one practice. So practice Surya Namaskar, you can do maximum of 12 rounds, 12 steps of Surya Namaskar, 12 rounds, and then other than that we must practice Shadmukhi Mudra. Now for Shadmukhi Mudra, you must sit either in this cross-legged position or you sit in Vajrasan. So I will be showing you how to do it in Vajrasan. So you sit in Vajrasan, and then Shadmukhi Mudra is very, very important to keep your mental health intact, because we have 5 senses, okay? And these 5 senses are, one is your eyes, your nose, your tongue, ears, and your skin. Yat Brahmande Tat Pinde, whatever is there in this world is there inside you as well, and we connect our inner world to outer world through these 5 senses. Whatever we watch, we relate to it. Whatever we hear, we connect. Whatever we smell, we connect. And we talk to people, we connect. In same way, through touch, we connect to people. Now, when we control these senses, it is called Pratyahar. That's a very important part of yoga, Pratyahar. Now, to control these senses, we shall practice Shadmukhi Mudra. Now, there is one more thing. All of our energy is wasted through these 5 senses. We watch too much, we feel tired. We hear very loud music for very long, we feel tired. We speak too much. Sometimes people say, Acharya ji, your work is so easy, you just need to speak. No, it's not easy. So much of energy is wasted when you speak too much. And that's the reason all the yogis, they speak on one side because they have to preach others. But on other side, they practice Maun, which is very, very important. And then we are going to control these 5 senses, and also the 6th one, Shadmukhi. Shad means 6, Mukhi means mouth. So we are going to shut the mouth of these 6 places. What? 5 of your senses, and 6th is your mind. How do we do that? And then what will happen? 1, glow is going to come on your face, your scalp is going to become, your skull is going to become healthy, and your mind is going to be under your control. So you are going to be the master of your mind. This is a wonderful practice for all mental health related problems. So make a pipe of your tongue this way. When you all know I have so many television programs on yoga, more than 45 television shows on yoga till now. So one of my show was live, and callers used to call and ask their problems, and there was one fellow who every day used to call and ask, Acharya ji, I can't make pipe of my tongue, what shall I do? And then I realized many people have this problem. What you can do is practice. Vidyabhyasnena eva prasidati. More you practice, your art is going to be happy with you, and you will have more authority over your science, over your art. But till, of course, you're practicing, keep practicing, but don't think that because I cannot do it, so better to quit it. No. Start your journey from wherever you are. Whatever is your physical status, whatever is your mental condition, start from right there. Do not wait for situations to change. Do not wait for right time to come. This is the right time. Begin from right now. So, how much you can fold? Just start with that only. So make a pipe of your tongue this way and inhale through that pipe. So once you inhale through that pipe, fill this air in your mouth and hold your breath inside. Now holding your breath is very, very important. But just remember, if there is anyone who is facing any kind of heart problem or respiratory problem, somebody is asthmatic or somebody is having bronchitis, in that case, do not hold your breath. Never hold your breath. Heart patients and respiratory patients shall never hold their breath. Others, everyone can do it with holding their breath. So make a pipe of your tongue and inhale through that. Feel the cooling sensation at the tip of your tongue. Fill this air in your cheeks and hold your breath inside. Block your ears with your thumb, eyes with your first finger, nose with your second finger, upper lip with your third finger, and lower lip with your fourth finger. And then ideally we should perform chin lock, but if you are facing any of the back pain issue or cervical issue or neck pain, do not perform chin lock, just bend your head a little forward. Okay, so let's do it together. Make pipe of your tongue. Now, this is one round. No hurry to open your eyes. See, I am still sitting with my closed eyes. Reason is that the entire flow of energy is towards your skull. So stay in this position for some time and then gently open your eyes. Okay. Now, in the final position, you will be hearing sound of either as if you're underwater or wind. We have to concentrate and focus on that sound. Right? So this is Shadmukhi Mudra. We can do 5 repetitions of Shadmukhi Mudra every day. Next is very, very easy and very, very important, Anand Gati. Gati जो हमें दुर्गति से बचाती है. स्थिर सुखम आसनम, which is stable, that is a posture. But which is moving is a gati. Okay? So Vandaniya Gurudev Swami Bharat Bhushan Ji has given gati to humanity at large, to benefit humanity at large. And as he always says, gati jo durgati se bachaye aur sadgati ki or lekar ke jaye. So even those who cannot sit in a stable posture, even they can get benefit of yoga through these wonderful gatis. And out of several yoga gatis, this is one gati which shall be done by the patients of any kind of mental health issue they are facing, even for those who cannot sleep at night, because with decay of mental health or with mental issues, your whole lifestyle get disturbed, your eating patterns get disturbed, your sleeping patterns get disturbed. And unfortunately, those who start taking medications for these problems, they face a lot of issues with their sleeping pattern. So this is going to work on that as well. It helps us in getting sound sleep and a wonderful practice for mental health. So sit in cross-legged position. Those who can sit in Padmasana, very good. Those who cannot sit in Padmasana, they can just sit with cross-legged position. Now, spread your hands at the sides, fingers open towards all sides, okay? And now we will be giving the movement, and very important that if you are having any kind of back issue or back pain, then you can practice it sitting in Vajrasana. Otherwise, you can do it in cross-legged position. So spread your arms at the side, and then we give movement like a pendulum, left and right. So left and right, left and right, left and right. Keep doing it as long as comfortable. Then bring your body to the base position. Bring your hands down and relax your entire body. Focus on your breath and you will feel much more relaxed. You will see that you're coming out of that traffic of thoughts and your mind is relaxing. Gently open your eyes. So Anand Gati is a wonderful practice and can be done by everyone if you want to have a strong mind. Next is, we call it Guru Pranam Asana, also known as Shashankarsana. To practice it, you must sit in Vajrasana. And why it is called Shashankarsana? Because just like moon, it gives you a cooling effect, calmness, peace. And why Guru Pranam? Because Guru, Guru Pranam, when you are in front of your Guru, you leave your ego behind. And that is the reason that when you practice Guru Pranam Asana, just surrender. And once you learn to surrender, which is again Ishwar Pranidhan, leaving everything to the will of Paramatma, when you learn to surrender, you will see that half of your problems are gone. So just sit like this, and hands in Namaste. Lift up your hands, stretch, exhale, bend forward. First you touch your palms on the floor, then your knees, then your elbows on the floor, and then touch your forehead to the floor. Normal breathing in the final position. Stay in this position as long as comfortable. You will feel so relaxed in the final position. Then lift up your elbows, lift up your face, lift up your hands, stretch your arms, return back to Namaste position and relax. And from here itself, we are going to do Ananda Mudra. So just hold your ankles, thumb inside, fingers outside. Leave your neck loose and focus at Agya Chakra, space between the eyebrows. No need to welcome any thought and no need to ignore any thought. Whatever thought is coming, let it come. Whatever is going, let it go. Be an observer and observe each and every thought that's coming and going. जितना तुम्हें भुलाना चाहती उतना और करीब आ जाती. More you invite a thought or more you ignore a thought, more it is going to come and trouble you. So learn to be an observer and just observe them coming and going. Bring your neck back, hands back, and relax. These are some very, very simple practices which everybody can do, and then you must practice. Regular practice of pranayam shall be done. And now I will be sharing Brahmari pranayam is very, very effective and very, very important. Nadi Shodhan pranayam, as we have 72,000 nadis in this human body, and there is no other provision of purification of these nadis except Nadi Shodhan pranayam. So Nadi Shodhan pranayam shall be done regularly. Now, before we wind up, it's very, very important that we understand few things. What is the reason of mind-related problems? One, we have stopped living in harmony. So I was invited at a very popular program, Diplomatic Dispatch at Sunset TV, and I was asked this question. As a diplomat, a former diplomat, I was invited there, and I was asked why India has given yoga, like why UN? You know, India has given yoga to UN, and I said to give United Nations its true meaning. Yoga means to unite, and today, when people are scattered, when countries are scattered, when society is scattered, its families are scattered, it's very, very important that we have a science to synthesize, and that science to synthesize is yoga. Now, when I say synthesize, if we really want to stay healthy at the level of body, mind and soul, we need to learn how to live in harmony. When I say how to live with harmony, how to live with harmony with your own body and mind, how to live in harmony with Mother Nature, how to live in harmony with other beings. Unfortunately, first we stopped living in harmony with Mother Nature, then we stopped living in harmony with other beings, we started hurting them for so many things. One is nowadays, unfortunately, health, which I call it violent protein, which is against the ethics of yoga for sure. Then we cut ourselves, we stopped living in harmony with our families and fellow beings, and now we have stopped living in harmony with our own mind. See where we are heading. And we have no control on our own thoughts. We have no control over our own body. We need to think about it. You are the most powerful soul. Your most beautiful soul. You are best. And when you are child of Paramatma, Parampita, just like you have got the qualities of your Pita, your father, he is Parampita, Supreme Father. So we have got the qualities of Supreme Father. We are powerful, yet gentle. We are strong, yet loving. And we need to learn how to live in harmony with Mother Nature, with other beings, and with our own self. So few rules to say goodbye to mental health problems. And you will be surprised to know that Mokshayatan Yoga Sansthan has healed millions of people worldwide, especially these cases of mental health, by these very simple practices and techniques. So as I told you, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan, especially the self-talk therapy, and then these practices. Now I will just give you a roadmap. First and most important thing, every day, 5 times a day, we must practice Attahas. Attahas is the yoga laughter. And you won't believe it. With these very simple practices, with these very simple tips and day-to-day lifestyle changes, Mokshayatan Yoga Sansthan has healed millions of people worldwide and helped them to come out of their mental disorders. So, 5 times a day, 30 seconds each time. Now you can choose your own time, whenever comfortable to you, but we must do it 5 times a day. How? In standing position or in sitting position, just spread your arms and 30 seconds of free laughter. Just leave your abdomen loose, leave your chest loose, and 1, 2. Do it for 30 seconds. Bring your hands down, close your eyes, and let this laughter shower back on you. Now, when I say let this laughter shower back on you, we need to remember that whatever we give, we get it back. You give hatred, you get it back. You give violence, you get it back. You give stress, anxiety, tension, you get it back. Same way, you give love, you get it back. You give laughter, you get it back. So if you want to be healthy physically and mentally, make sure that you practice Attahas 5 times a day. And most important, this simple practice helps you in increasing your lungs capacity so that you you inhale more oxygen and proper circulation of blood and oxygen happen in your body. It generates your happy hormones. Now, when we talk about happy hormones, it's not that only through those pills you can have happy hormones. You can have these happy hormones. You can have oxytocin when you hug a loved one, when you touch someone. That's why we have this provision of pair chuna, touching feet of your elders, of your parents, of your guru, because your oxytocin is released when you do that. Of loving your children, loving animals around you. So, and then this act of seva helps in generating endorphin, Niswartha bhav se seva. Without any expectation, you are helping others. That helps you in generation of endorphin. When you practice regular yoga abhyas, when you practice, you stay active physically, and you practice meditation, your dopamine levels increase. So all these happy hormones, you can generate them naturally as well. So first is laughter, attahas. Second, 20 minutes a day we must spend in sunlight. Now generally all these patients suffering from mental health issues, they feel no, my vitamin D is perfectly fine, Acharya ji. I don't need to spend time in sunlight. It's not just about vitamin D. Sunlight is not just vitamin D. Na itne hai, na utne hai, hum apni pyas jitne hai. We are equal to our thirst, We just think inside those boundaries as much as we know. But just explore and see that world is much more than what you know. And sunlight is not just vitamin D, it is a source of energy. And when you spend, all beings take their energy from sunlight. We eat all those plants plants that grow in sunlight. Vegetarian people and non-vegetarian people eat those beings, those animals who are vegetarian, and you are taking indirect sunlight. And in yoga, you can take direct sunlight. So spend 20 minutes in direct sunlight. And when I say direct sunlight, either you should be bare body or you should wear sun colors, yellow, orange or white. Or even if you're not bare body, try that your navel part is exposed so that sunlight falls on your navel. Now, do not take very harsh sunlight. It's always better to wake up in the morning and take sunlight in the morning. If you take sunlight 20 minutes every day, most of your ailments, physical and mental, will be gone. 2. 3. Make sure that this sunlight time, you can utilize these 20 minutes. The third point is make sure that you spend time in Mother Nature. When I say Mother Nature, breathe fresh air for 20 minutes, walk barefoot on green grass. So best is we make a combination of it. When sunlight is falling, you walk on green grass, you take some deep breath, you practice pranayam and Surya Namaskar on that green grass under the sunlight in fresh air. So you're doing everything in this 20 minutes, which can work wonders for you. Now, fourth thing, which is very, very, very important, eat that food. Eat what you want to become, because jaisa khaye anna vaisa hoye man, vaisa hoye tan, vaisa hoye jivan. Whatever we eat, we become. Such is our mind, such is our body, and such is our life. Jaisa khaye anna vaisa hoye tan, vaisa hoye man, vaisa hoye jivan. So if we are eating food that has come out of somebody's fear, that has come out of tension, that has come out of hatred, we are taking all those feelings inside us, and so are we becoming. So very important that you eat that food which comes through love, which comes through Mother Nature, which comes with abundance of life in it, which comes with abundance of peace and love in it. That means do not eat what is coming from factory or what is coming from a machine, but eat what is coming straight away from soil, which has grown under the sunlight, which has felt the air, and now it is for you to eat this living food. This is the real living food which generates life in you. Very simple rule. Eat naturally grown food, eat natural food, sattvic ahar, so that you say goodbye to all your mental health related issues. And last but very, very important, do not forget to practice easiest form of dhyan. For mental health issues, it is not recommended that you practice deep meditations or meditations which are like proper meditations. You can practice self-talk therapy, you can practice yoga nidra, you can practice auto-suggestions, you can practice swadhyay, but not deep meditations. It is a myth which I don't know how people, generally when I tell this to people, they are surprised. Is meditation not for mental health issues? Yes, not, because whenever your mind is silent, whenever you are at absolute peace, that vacuum, it takes you back towards those situations, those problems, those circumstances from where this problem is coming. Stay dynamic, be physically active, be mentally cheerful, read, write, speak, talk to yourself, talk to others. Do those things. Most important, before I wind up today's session, there was a very senior diplomat and he used to come to my classes. It is back when I was 19 years old, and he came to me and he was having a lot of mental issues, because work of a diplomat is under too much of stress and they have to work under too much of stressful conditions. So he came to me and I just told him to do one single thing. I just made him sit in silence. I took him back with suggestions, and then I said, just go to the time when you were a child. So he went down to the time when he was a child. I said, what was that one thing that you loved doing? And he said, it was playing drums. So I said, great. Then he came back from the meditative state, and I said, 15 days every day, can you take out 10 minutes for your problem? He said, yes, of course I can take out 10 minutes. I can take out 1 hour. I said, no, just 15 minutes. And play drums for 15 minutes. He said, Acharya ji, what are you talking about? I was just a child when I used to do that. I said, that's fine. Let's try to bring that child out of you and let that child work, because as a child you were not having stress, right? So he said, are you sure? I said, this is my prescription to you. Every day, 15 minutes, you play drums. He said, fine. And I said, after 15 days, every day 10 minutes you play drums and let me know after 15 days. He came to me after 5 days and he said, I'm feeling so better. I cannot tell you how better I'm feeling. So it is very, very important that you sit down, think about that one thing which you love doing. It can be writing, it can be reading, it can be dancing, it can be jumping, it can be talking to your friends, it can be watching television, it can be just staying outdoors in fresh air. Please make sure that you spend 10 minutes for that one thing, and that one thing is going to change your life. So this was the complete roadmap. Let's do a quick recap. Most important practice Swadhyay, study of self and self-study both, and self-talk therapy I told you. Second, Ishwar Pranidhan, leaving everything to the will of God. Third, Shadmukhi Mudra, and then other practices which I shared with you. Especially pranayam, in which you must do Bhramari and Nadi Shodhan. Then is Attahas. Then is 20 minutes in sunlight and in fresh air. And then Sattvic Ahar, Yoga Nidra and self-talk therapy and auto-suggestions. And just 10 minutes every day doing that thing which you love doing. Simple roadmap towards a healthy mind. I'm sure you all are going to work on these on this roadmap, and you're not going to make this International Day of Yoga just one day event. When IYA is working hard to bring this treasure of knowledge to you, and Mokshayatan has joined IYA to bring this treasure of knowledge to you, it's very important that we accept this knowledge, and not just accept and not just understand, but we adapt it in our everyday life. And let's make International Day of Yoga not just one day event, but an event to be celebrated throughout our life. Thank you. Love, light and blessings for all of you. Hari Om.